So we've been looking at cracks. We've been looking at cracks in a relationship, how to fortify our relationship by fixing cracks. Sometimes these cracks appear and they look harmless, and if we're not careful, we will not even be aware that they are there until they begin to eat deeply into our relationship, and then we find ourselves in places we do not want to be, where we're saying we don't know how we got here, or we don't know how to fix it. Usually it is best to fix cracks when they are small, when their effect is not widespread, so that they don't eat up the home, they don't eat up your relationship. So today, like I promised in my video last week, I said today I'm going to be talking about allowing influence as one of the ways to look at fortifying our relationships. Now, allowing influence is this talk will be mainly to men, how men can fortify their relationships, and if there are cracks already in this area, how they can repair these cracks and ensure that their relationship moves smoother to a more fulfilling and growth and a growth path, right? So allowing influence is simply saying that the man allows or listens to his wife. He has suggestions. Sometimes he allows her to make inputs, and he respects, acknowledges, and sometimes accepts her influence. Now, allowing influence is not saying that he must accept all her suggestions and to do them as she wants, but that he allows her to make inputs, and he considers the input that his wife makes to the suggestion, to whatever it is she's suggesting, his life, his personal life, his career, and whatever. And as I talk about this, hello, sorry I can't read the name is in Arabic. Thank you for joining me today. So like sorry, I was about to tell a story, a joke actually. I've heard many versions of the joke, but this is the version I like. So this was heaven, and all the people that were qualified to get into heaven had come in, and an angel came out and announced, I want all the men to make 2 roles. One controlled you. If your wife had influence over you, the men on should stand by my right, by my left, and the other row, if you had absolute control, your wife didn't tell you anything to do, and you had total control of your life and your family, stand on this other row. And so as the story goes, the line where people that were controlled by their wives or influenced by their wives was so long, virtually, in fact, all the men were there but one. That man was on the other side, where he had control of his home, and he never allowed his wife to influence him. That was what the line was made for. So all the paparazzi in heaven were amazed. They were surprised. How did you achieve this great feat, that you didn't allow influence from your wife, and not only that, you made it to heaven successfully, and you are here? So they came to ask him, what did you do, sir? What did you do? And all the mics, all the cameras were pointed at him, and then the man went, my wife told me to stand here. So, as in simply saying that if you want to have a cordial relationship, if you want your relationship to grow, if you want your relationship to be fulfilling for the both of you, that men should allow their wives influence on their decision. Now, interestingly, it is also a business secret, because business research tells us that couples that the husband they say married men make more money, and one of the reasons is because when women come into their lives, they come in with a relational angle to the business that the man does. So it helps the man to improve his relationship with the people he does business with, hence making more money, retaining more clients. Of course, that applies to people that are happy in their homes. So are you allowing influence? Are you allowing your wife's influence? I remember one man, one time I went somewhere and he was talking, actually bragging and saying that his wife even tells him at home that as far as you are concerned, I don't have sense. I don't, my suggestions don't make sense at all to you and all. And he made it a joke, but it is a major crack, and it becomes a major reason for dissatisfaction in the marriage when the woman feels like an underdog, when she feels like she doesn't have a place, her suggestions don't have a place in the man's life. It's a major crack. So if you are married, and as a man you have not so far allowed your wife to have certain level of influence over your decisions, that you can sit back and re-examine what you want to do, because your wife says, you know what, there's something not right about this, I don't just think this is the way to go, and then you can sit back and re-evaluate. Or if your wife says, you know, I think you should consider this other angle, and you can sit back, re-evaluate, and even accept her decisions, then your marriage may be heading for the rocks, because women want to feel that they are part of something. Not just women, everybody. Belonging. How you create a sense of belonging in your life is by allowing influence. I also want to state a bit of warning to women. I've heard women say, you know, you didn't take my advice the last time, and this happened. Please, women, let's do our best to avoid doing that. Reason is because many men become egoistic when you do that. They want to defend. They may even hide what they are doing and not tell you, because if they tell you and it goes bad, you will say it's because they didn't take your advice. Even though that may be true, there are other ways to state your reasons why you think that this time you should be listened to. But remember that ultimately a man is the head of the home. I know in our feminist generation it may be hard to take. A man is the head of the home, and he has final say, especially when it comes to issues that relate to him as a person. So you can make suggestions, and your suggestions may or may not be taken. Men, also, I want to make a plea. Do your best to allow your wife into your life. It will make your life easier. It will make your home happier. It will make your work move smoother. Like I said, research shows that men who are happily married men make more money than their single counterparts, and of course than the unmarried men, or the unhappily married men. So allowing your wife to influence your decisions business-wise. She may not know so much about business, but there's something called intuition, and sometimes she can just have a signal that there's something wrong, and she states it to you. So in your life, in your home, and in everything you do, allow her to influence your decisions, to, if possible, make more decisions with her. Look for a more egalitarian way to run your home than being a boss and just giving directions. You will have a happier home. A happy wife will make you want to come home earlier, because you know you'll be welcomed better, and then of course there will be growth happening in the relationship. Remember, we are working together to make our homes habitable, to make our homes happy, to ensure that we stay together, raise children in healthy environments, so that we make the world a better place. Your family, my family, contributing to make tomorrow safer for our children, for ourselves, and for the world at large. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. Stay tuned. Next week we'll still be talking about healing cracks, and I'll be rounding up on looking at cracks and what you can do to heal it. Thank you for joining me today. Have a blessed weekend.